Our first class session at Highland Hills Ski and Snowboard area in Bloomington will be Sunday. Class begins at 3 o'clock, but you should plan to arrive earlier than that to allow time for parking and for check-in, which is not part of the class time. A map and driving directions to the Highland Hills area is located on the back side of your syllabus. Parking can be tricky because there isn't a lot of it. There is one parking lot adjacent to the main chalet, but it has limited spots. If you do not find a spot here, you'll want to drive back out north on Chalet Road towards Normandale Lake and 84th Street. There you will see an overflow parking lot. Highland Hills offers shuttle buses that run back and forth from the parking lot to the main chalet about every 10 minutes. Parking is free, however, keep in mind that there is not security in the parking lots, so you will not want to leave anything visible in your car, and all valuables should be brought into the chalet with you. There are lockers available within the main chalet, and so bring quarters if you think you'll need a locker. When you enter into the main chalet, you'll walk past the pro shop and continue on until you reach the ski and snowboard school desk area. You'll check in there with a photo ID. They'll have your name on a list for Normandale Community College, and you'll pick up your lift pass. At the same time, you'll want to turn around and look for me. I will be there as well, and you will need to sign in with me every day too. And I'll be at a table somewhere adjacent to the snowboard school desk area. You will want to make sure that you sign in with both me and the school desk area before 3 p.m. This is also the location where you pick up your rental tickets. So if you do need rentals for the day, they are $10 per day, or you can buy a package of 8 rentals for $70. The rental covers your board, your bindings, and your boots. However, helmets are not included, and helmets are strongly encouraged at Highland Hills, but they're not required. So if you do want to bring a helmet, you'll want to plan for that in advance. Every class session will be 2.5 hours long, beginning right at 3 o'clock and going until 5:30 each Sunday. Of that 2.5 hours that we're meeting, an hour and a half will be spent with your hill instructor, which is the instructor that you're assigned to on the first day of class. This will include an hour and a half lesson with the other adults in your group, and like I mentioned before, about 5 to 8 people, adults per group. The other hour of our class will be spent you just practicing your skills. You can do this alone on the hill, you can do it with other people that are in the class. It's totally your choice, but we do expect that you spend at least 2.5 hours on the hill every night, and an hour and a half of that be spent with your hill instructor. So every day you will be checking in with 3 different individuals. You'll be checking in at the ski and snowboard school desk, you'll be checking in with me, and you'll also be checking in with your hill instructor at the beginning of hill instruction. Dressing for winter sports requires some planning, and really it's all about the fabrics, not the brand names. To begin with, we talk about our base layer of clothing. This is a layer of clothing that's next to your skin. Ladies, you want to go with one really good synthetic sports bra, and all of us can wear any underwear we choose, whatever makes us happy. The first layer of clothing wicks moisture away from our skin. And it's really important that we choose quick drying fabrics that pull that moisture away from our skin. Those fabric choices include polyester, silk, wool, and nylon. And some of those products may also have spandex in them, which makes them stretchificated. When we think about that first layer of clothing, we also think about socks. And you'll want one really good pair of either wool, polyester, or a wool polyester blend sock that's not too thick so that it fits comfortably within your boot and is non-constrictive. that first layer of clothing would be applied to the upper layer and the lower layer, or the upper part and the lower part of your body. So you could even go with a pair of long underwear for this. The second layer of clothing is the insulating layer. The function of the insulating layer is to do just that, to trap in the radiating heat that's coming from your body. So we have a few different choices. One is you could go with a simple fleece or a filled polyester layer, maybe a wool sweater or even a down sweater. Works really well. The third layer of clothing is that outer layer of clothing. And this is the layer that's going to repel rain. If it does happen to rain during our class, it's going to repel snow. Also, it will prevent snow from seeping into your base layers if you spend a lot of time on your backside on the hill. And also it's going to block the wind. A couple different choices we have. Some of those base layers are insulated, such as this snowboard jacket right here. This has an insulating layer within it, so this wouldn't require an additional insulating layer if I were to wear this jacket. Some of the outdoor winter jackets are simply a shell, so it's just a thin outer layer that is designed to repel the wind, repel rain, and repel snow. With a shell, you will need to wear the insulating layers, and it's recommended that you wear a base layer with that as well. Some of the features we look for a hood. That will come in handy, especially in the evenings when the sun drops down and it starts to get pretty chilly. We also look for closures on the wrist area so that we can close in around our gloves, and we look for pit zips on the underside for extra ventilation as well. Now, we have to keep in mind that that outer layer to repel wind and snow should apply both to the top of the body and the bottom as well. So a good pair of snow pants is absolutely critical as well. Now, as far as other exposed areas like our head, our face, and our hands, again, requires some planning. We have a few different options. Again, we look for fabrics that are quick drying, that wick moisture away from the body from perspiration. So again, like the clothing, we really want to avoid cotton. One base layer option for your head is called a balaclava, and this fits right over the head and is not usually wind or waterproof. So it will require that you wear a hat over the top of it for extra protection. In addition, you may want extra protection from the wind for your face too, and a bandana or a turtle fur work well for this. In addition, you may want to wear a pair of goggles on top of it for extra protection. We will be out in the elements after the sun goes down, so keep in mind that the tint on your goggles makes a difference. You're probably going to want some clear goggles while you're out there so that you can see within the night lights. As far as gloves go, just make sure that you have something that is waterproof as well as warm. Don't be afraid to keep a package of chemical heat packs somewhere in a pocket so that you can pull those out for either your hands, maybe your backside, or even your feet throughout the workout.